going to sort of be under the context of Eckhart Tolle. I read his book, The Power of Now. Well, I kind of have to rephrase that. I listened to the book over 20, I think it's like 28 times, because I have it, played in my car and just over and over and over again. So, and I'm still working on comprehending all of it after 28 times. But so one of the things I'm going to share with you, that's kind of like the foundation, but I'm kind of throwing in my own experience on top of that, because I think that's what makes it real, is, what does it mean to me? So a while back, I heard that we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts every day. Anybody realize that? I don't know if somebody counted them or how they came up with that number, but 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. And so you go, okay, that's quite a few. But then the next thing they tell is that 90% of them are repeats. 90%. So you can imagine, like, the odds are kind of against you to have a new thought, right? If 90% are going to be repeats from, and some of them are necessary, right? Sort of driving a car or not getting yourself hurt or avoiding some, some of those thoughts are necessary. But there are some in there that we could interject to have growth with. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about tonight. I used to think of, ask myself the question, well, and I'm going to ask you guys, what is the past? Anybody? What is the past? Nobody knows.
Events,
things that happen that have already happened, right? And then you have the future, and that's things that haven't happened yet. And then you have the present and the now, right? And so that's what we're going to be talking about, is the past and the present and the future. I had a saying that and it was not scientific, it's just something that I said because I thought it sounded neat. 90% of our thoughts that we have should be in the present. And what's happening there is you're creating and experiencing life. Then you should have 2% in the past, because 2%, there's things that we can learn from the past. We have lessons to learn. So there's 2% of your thoughts are on the past. And then if you're doing the math in your head real quick, you know that 8% is for the future, and that 8% is for planning. And then what I would say is that it's really not that big of a deal to get into all the percentages, but where I come in is I say, well, the extremes in the past, in other words, if you were 75% of your thoughts were in the past, and you stayed in that for a long period of time, you would have some challenges in life. If you stayed 75% of all your thoughts in the future, and you sustained that for a long period of time, you would have a problem existing in now. And so I threw 75 out just because I like that number. But you can see the extremes. The extremes are where you have some challenges. And notice that I said for a sustained period of time. If you have an event that is very influential to you, like possibly losing a close family member or losing somebody that was really close to you, well then where is your thoughts going to be? Your thoughts are going to be in the past and what you shared with that person and what you experienced with them and the fun that you have and the love that you have. And then in the future, you could be thinking of, I want to do college, or I want to do this as a career, or this is my path, this is what I want to do. And so you would spend a lot of time thinking about the future and thinking about events for the future, but you just wouldn't stay there. So everybody get what the sustained in the past and the sustained in the future, that there's a problem there. And so we always talk about, don't stay in the past, don't stay in the future, be in the present. What does that mean? We have all these labels past and present and future and the now. What does all that mean? And so what I was liking about Eckhart Tolle is he actually tells you. So a sustained time focusing on thoughts of the past, you come up with these things and see if any of these ring with you and your experiences. Remember, we're in the past for an extended period of time. Guilt, regret, resentment, grievances, sadness, bitterness, all areas of non-forgiveness. Can you see how if you were focused on the past and that's where you stayed, that you would have those kind of feelings? So there are some good feelings of thinking about the past, but what I'm trying to address is those extremes. So if somebody goes and sits in the past and stays there, a lot of times these are the things that are going through their thoughts. So let's look at the future. And this is the extreme. So, I mean, there's good in the past, there's good in the future, but I'm talking about the pieces of extreme. Unease, anxiety, tension, stress, and worry. Have any of you experienced any of those? I think we all have. And so, whenever you read that list of both the concentration of the past and concentrating on the future and your thoughts staying in those areas, and you hear those words that I gave you, how many of you were excited and wanted to stay in that area? Anybody? No. But listen to this list and see if it's a list that you would sign up for. This is in the present, in the now. Joy, ease, lightness, quality, care, love, stillness, and peace. How many of you would sign up for those? A few? Okay, good. And make sure that you're awake too, because I like that. See that you're awake. Okay, that's good. But, so you can see that who would knowingly go into a world of guilt, regret, resentment, that whole list, and who knowingly would stay in a world of unease, anxiety, and tension? Well, there are people, like all of us experience it from time to time, all the time, right? And so it's like, so why? Why do we, if we can have all these in the middle, then why? Well, one of the things is my first comment, that 90% of our thoughts are repeats. So that's part of it, but there's more. You guys ready for more? What I liked about Eckhart Tolle is he broke it down into two parts. There's the life and there's the life situation. And so then you go, okay, good words, okay, what do they mean? Well, the life is the soul, that's the true you. And the life situation is the mind. Okay? So, whenever you hear those words, perfect, whole, and complete, how many of you just go, yeah, okay. It's a thing that everybody throws it around, yeah. Well, perfect, whole, and complete is really your true self, and that's the life. So you have a choice to live through your life or live through your life situation. So you get to pick which one you want. So let's talk about it. And then you can think about choosing which one you would prefer. So let's talk about the life situation first. So what's there? What all falls into life situation? Well, the past is there and the future is there. Results are there. A focus on results. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Ego, the thought that you're not good enough. That all comes from your life situation. Psychological time, which I'm going to talk about that too. See, I have to rush so I can get all this stuff in. It's good stuff. False sense of identity. Problems. Labels. Judgments, facts, and opinions. Everybody get a hold of that? Do you get a feel for what life situations is all about? So that's in your mind. So you're like associating those things. That's your life situation. But what Eckhart goes a long way throughout the whole book is you are not your life situation. You are your life. So what are the characteristics there? Being. Does everybody know being? Just being. Now, action. Remember where was results? The focus on results was over in the life situation. The focus on action is in your life. Knowing. Clock time. We'll come back to that one too. Freedom. And no problems. And of course, perfect, whole, and complete. So he sets up these two situations where you have your life and your life situation. So most everything that you can relate or talk about that is not good or is bad or you feel bad, it gives you a bad feeling about, it's in your life situation. It's not in your life. And so it's a choice that you have to make. Where do you want to be? Because you can't be in both places. So you experience your life situation, and you can't get out of that, right? You're alive and existing and going from day to day. So, but you can be the observer, and you can watch your life situation, and so you can make a conscious choice that your choice is to stay with the focus on life, not the focus on the life situation.